Hello everyone, Argsy here. Welcome back to Spectacle Island. This is as serious as it looks. I think I've made a huge mistake. Well, I have made a huge mistake. And, well, I'm hoping this isn't going to be the end of the farm, but it very well could be. We've just finished talking to the police officer there. A very helpful chap. Given us some options of what we can do. Obviously, as you can see, the greenhouse is fenced off. There's a very good reason for that being fenced off. I don't own the land, so we've actually we've trespassed, and we've been given an ultimatum. We've got to come up with $124,000 to buy the land, or they're going to come in and demolish the greenhouse, and we could be up for some fines. So not only would we lose the greenhouse, but we could be fined. So I've got this all set up here, it's all blocked off, we can't use it. And it is my mistake. If we have a look here, here's the piece of land we own, you can see it there, it's bright green. I never looked into the records, I just assumed that the land that the family owned when we arrived here included this chunk on the other side. And I had grand plans for it, obviously, as our production area. We were going to set up our greenhouses and just start farming through this. But unless we can come up with this money pretty quickly, they've given us today and tomorrow. So we're going to have to start to liquidate some assets. We've got some wool to sell, we've got some crops still in the silos to sell. We need that wheat to come up so we can get rid of that too. And hopefully we can come up with the money. It's a big ask though, $66,000. I honestly don't know if we can do it. But we're not going to do it standing here, and we're not going to do it on our own. So I've got a phone call to make. I need to call in a rather trusted friend to give me a hand here. So let's go do it. Let's see what we can do. So I made the call. We are going to have some help here in a little under an hour, just on midday. They should be able to be here, getting here as quickly as they can. There's no way past here. Wheat's still not ready. We really need that to ripen and get ready to harvest. The corn, I don't know whether it's going to be harvestable or not before the end of tomorrow. Only got 36 hours effectively, so we'll have to hope and pray that it might come through. If we just wander over here, we do have 4 full bales of wool that we can sell. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get these loaded up and run down to the sell point, find out where the best place to sell them is, along with these eggs. We'll get them down to the sell point as well, get them sold. And then we're going to have a look what we've got in the silos here to sell, and decide what we're going to do next. So let's fish out a tractor, grab a trailer, and get the wheel loader going. Here we are, we're getting our wool pallets loaded up. Got the pallet forks here on the front of the wheel loader, and obviously able to pick them up from the side here and get them put into the middle of the trailer. So we'll just get the last 2 picked up as well. And we'll leave that one there because we will create a bit more wool in the next 36 hours. So I think every piece is going to count. So we may be doing another trip at some stage. But I'm hoping we can get down to the shop. I'm not sure where the best place to sell this is yet. I'm assuming there'll be a spinnery somewhere in Spectacle Island. We'll have to take a look. But we will go and get these sold, hopefully, before the helper gets here for the day. So we've got the wool all loaded up, we're just getting the eggs put on here as well. So we've got 7 boxes of eggs, I think. Yep, 7, and all 150 litres. So just over 1,000 litres of eggs to go and get sold. So again, not sure where the best place to sell these is. If they're actually at different spots, I'm going to have to be careful that we don't sell one or the other at a lower price than what we could get if we go to 2 sell points. So we'll just have to be mindful of that. Excellent. Right, we'll get some straps put over all these, and we'll take a look at the directory and see where we should be selling all of this. So the best price for eggs is down at the Portside Cafe, while the best price for the wool is actually at Boat Unloading Station 1. Now this is another one of those ones I can't get to without using the boat, but it's double the price of the spinnery. And desperate times call for desperate measures, so I'm going to go and investigate using the boat. We will need to get over to the boat unloading station. So up here at the industrial complex, we've got the boat unloading station, and I do believe the boat dock is down here next to one of the main farms. So I think we're going to have to go and explore that and see if it is worth our while to put the wool on the boat and take it over there. We could actually use, I know there's a barge, I wonder if we can take it over on the barge and deliver it that way without taking it off the trailer. We will go and find out. Alright, so we're down here at the barge. The guys here have said just drive straight on. We should be able to park up here on here like this and see if we can get this over to the sell point. And we're right on time because they leave on the half hour, so we've got here just in time to head off. So we'll make a trip, head over to the boat unloading dock, and hopefully earn a bit more money than what we were going to. I wonder if that's our helper arriving. I knew he said he'd get here quick. Didn't think he'd have a helicopter. Fingers crossed that's him. He's a little bit early. We're just getting pulled up here at the unloading dock. Sure, it looks like they might swing in and nose into the front there, which is good. Hopefully we can unload or drive straight off. Looks like there's a bit of a sell point there. So we've got all our wool sold here, $1,253 per bale or pallet. So just on $5,000 for that. So that's a good start on our way to getting to that $124,000 mark. It still feels a long way off though, but we're over halfway. We've got 61 to go. So we're just going to head off now. We've got to get to the cafe back down at the main port and to get these eggs sold down there. So we've made it down here to the cafe, to the port area. Now I think over here somewhere is the sell point for the cafe. I think we actually have to take the eggs inside. So let's go and see how many they want to take. Alright, here we go. I remember the first time we came down here, when we first arrived, and we brought ourselves a coffee. But hopefully, if we just head out around the back here somewhere, we should be able to put these down and sell them. There we go, $400 for that. So 7 of those, we should hopefully pick up another $3,000 or so. Let's get them sold and see where we end up. Alright, last box. And $415, so 66,000 now. Only 58 to go. We're going to keep counting this down. Now, it's 6 minutes to 12, so our help should not be far away. But we're just going to pop over. Like I said, we're going to buy a few firewood boxes. Actually, I don't know if I had said I was thinking it. But what I was thinking is we've proven that firewood is a great way to make some money. So let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We will make some more firewood. So we'll get some more firewood boxes. We pick up another 8 of these. There we go. It's only $400. So one of the egg crates is paid for that. And we can get that sold and make some money while also clearing a little bit more land ready for expanding another field into. Assuming of course, that we don't have to sell the land to be able to make amends for our little mishap. So there they are. We will get these all put up on the back of the trailer and back down to the yard. We're just getting pulled back in here to the farm. We've got the 8 wood crates here on the back, firewood boxes on the back. Now hopefully our worker has arrived. I'm not sure. It is after 12. He said he'd be here by 12, so fingers crossed he has. Oh gosh, it looks like our corn's grown too, and the wheat's ready to harvest. That's fantastic. Whoa. I knew I could rely on this man. He is already in there underway. So that's fantastic. Our helper today, Scott George, a very trusted member of my community. He's been a big supporter for a long time. I knew in times of crisis I could call on him to come in here and help us. So we'll leave him. He's underway. That's awesome. So I'm just going to go. We'll need to sort out a tractor and a trailer. And I'm just trying to think whether perhaps we use the Fendt to run the crops down. Now, I haven't actually looked at where the best place to sell wheat is. Perhaps we should figure that out first. So no surprises, the boat unloading stations are the 2 highest price. So I wonder, we've just used the barge. I wonder if we take some product down to that same dock and load it into the boat down here and try and get it sold to boat unloading station 1. $140 odd per 1,000 litres better off. Which, if we have 10 or 20,000 bushels, or litres, sorry, it could end up being quite a big difference in what money we could earn. So just looking at the map, the other option is the bakery, which is over here. That's the next best price. So I think to get to the bakery, it's going to be just as quick. It's still going to take a while, but we can use the auto drive and get down to the boat silo down there and load into the boat, and then run that to boat unloading 1, which I think is back where we sold the wool. So I think that's what we'll do. So we'll get hooked up. We might try and see if the Fendt will pull both those trailers and put some in the front, and then we can sort of triple carry product down there. So we'll get that all hooked up and get that over to the field so Scott has something to unload into. So here is our grain train. 2 trailers plus the Fendt, all hooked up, ready to go. Now, I was worried that the brakes might lock up on the red trailer because we don't have a hydraulic terminal on this tractor. It doesn't seem to connect to, but we seem to be able to get out to max speed, which is good. Now, the other thing that I'm both impressed and a little bit concerned about is Scott's full already, and he hasn't even made it a quarter of the way through the field. So that means we're going to get a really good yield off this crop. However, it also means we're going to be running a few loads down to the sell points. So we're just going to have to be mindful of that. Now we're just going to have to carefully get in here and not damage too much crop and try and get this unloaded. We'll put this in the front first. There we go. Obviously once he's cut around the field once, we won't have this problem cutting in quite like this. But there we go. And that is the first 1,800 bushels into the trailer, and like I said, probably not even maybe a third of the way to the ground. This has the potential to really drag us up from our conundrum we have. And obviously we can bale the straw. I obviously want to keep some of that for the pigs to get some manure. However, at the moment the animals are a bit of a fallback. If I really can't raise this money, we might have to sell some of those and look to reinvest once we've cleared our debts. So we'll just have to wait and see how we go off this field. But we'll let Scott get carried on there and just keep on getting him unloaded. We've just finished our first lap of the field and have almost 5,000 litres of wheat here in the tractor already, and the combine was empty. So if we can get that amount off every single lap, obviously it will reduce because we're not covering as much area. However, it still is looking like it's going to be a pretty decent yield. So we're just going to carry on here with the harvesting. Obviously this is our priority at the moment. Timing wise, we are going to have a think about where we cut some trees down, where we might look to expand the farm further. I'm thinking over in that direction somewhere on the other side of this field, looking to create another field up there. But we'll see what option is the best, and that will be our job once we've got this all cut and baled and carted out down to some sell points. And we'll be in a good position then to know where we need to find some more money from. So let's just crack on with this. So we haven't quite finished our 4 headland passes, but we already have 14,000 litres of wheat here. So a little bit of quick maths tells me there's over 7 grand in the trailer as it is at the moment. So if we can get 4, maybe 5 full trailer loads out of that field, I'm not sure. I know the headlands often provide a good proportion of a field's area, but if we can get $30,000 out of this field, we'll be well on our way to getting to that $124,000. So we're going to leave Scott there harvesting. He will get full soon and need an empty. We're going to run this down to that dock and get it loaded into the silo down there and make sure everything works. So we can keep on doing this, keep on harvesting, and once I get started up on the up and down rows, I think then I'll hook the baler up and make a start on getting that straw baled as well. We're just pulling up down here at the docks. Looks like the barge is still out and busy. Now, I'm guessing this is going to be the same as ours, is it? Much the same, so we'll try with the front first, make sure we can dump into here. Here we go. Get that offloaded. Right, so that's that one undone. Well, now what's going to be the best way to empty the rest of these out? I know the back trailer's got a side tip on it, but I don't think the red one does, so we're going to probably have to disconnect and hook back up. So we'll do that and get these all unloaded. Alright, that's the main trailer emptied out into the silo, and then we just have to hook back up and try and side tip the other one out. And there we go, side tipping out the left hand side from the red trailer. So I'll just hop out here while that's doing that. I think I should be able to go over here and hop on the boat. And if we just hop in there we go, there's our 14,000 litres of wheat that has gone in there. And we can now load the boat up when we're ready to take it to the sell point and get that sold. So that is a good way to sell the wheat and make that extra little profit. Right, back to the yard. I know Scott is already waiting for us. I've actually told him to go and get the Deutz hooked up and he was going to start on some of the baling. So we'll see when we get back. He might have already got some of that done. So we had to make a wee diversion on the way back. Scott messaged us. We're out of bale twine already in the baler. So unexpected expense, but fortunately not a too large one. Now ideally I would pick up one of these bigger pallets, but I just don't know if we could pick that up to put it in the back. I'm hoping we can pick these up by hand. I'm not sure. I might just keep it at the smaller ones and get 3 of them. Doesn't actually affect the price, I don't believe, so we will pick that up and go and get them loaded up onto the tractor. So there we go, we have got those bale twine loaded in. We did have to take them out of the pallets individually and put them back in. They were a little bit heavy to pick up on our own, but we have got them loaded. So we'll get back up to the yard and make sure we've got something for Scott to get started on again. He's sort of twiddling his thumbs at the moment, waiting for us. Just getting pulled back in here to the field. And there is Scott waiting for us with the sides up on the baler already. So hopefully we'll just be able to pull up the side here and refill straight out of the trailers. And then over on the far side over there is the combine, so Scott can go and get started back on that. There we go, a baler topped up with twine, combine getting unloaded, and we will be back off harvesting again. So we'll let Scott run here. He's going to take a little bit longer on these rows, the turning around, and that's going to add a little bit of time. So we will go and jump in the doits and carry on baling. Things are pretty well under control. We are managing to keep up with the combine now with the baling, and we've almost got another full trailer ready to go. But I just thought while we had a little bit of downtime, I'd get out here and would start stacking up some of the bales, getting them ready to load onto the trailer. I guess we are going to have to take the plywood boxes off the back of the trailer at some point though, and get the trailer over here to be able to pick these up and sell them. Or sell the majority of them at least. We will keep just a few for our pigs. Also going to try and stack them a little bit higher than I did with the soybean or soy straw bales, and we'll try and go 3 high this time. There we go, another full load. Only our second, unfortunately. As I expected, the headlands, or the 3.5 headland passes, was a big chunk of this field. You can see there we've knocked out that part and we just have this piece here left. So not going to get towards the 4 or 5 full loads I'd hoped for. If we're lucky, hopefully we can get one more. So we're just going to have to hope we can get a good price for it and then hang our hat somewhere else to try and top up the funds. Been doing some thinking about the firewood. Just on the other side of this big grove here, there's a slightly smaller grove and a bit of a clearing around it, which I think could be where we start cutting some more trees down and getting some more firewood made. I don't think we're going to have time to get that cleared, mowed and converted into silage, even if it was silage bales, in time to sell those to make some profit, but we'll see. We might have to take a look at that. That could be a punt we have to make, is to buy a bale wrapper with the hope that we can turn that into a profit off some silage bales. Down here again with our load to empty out. Now I have done a bit of investigation and we can slide tip from this trailer. So that means we won't have to disconnect anything at all. We'll be able to get this one tipped out. Do the same with the back trailer, and then all we have to worry about is driving forward to tip out the front. There we go, that's able to be tipped out there and offloaded, and then it's just the front to tip in there frontwards. And there we go, getting that last little bit of wheat out of here. We just go and jump up on the boat. We'll be able to have a look here. 28,500 litres of wheat ready to sell, so that's not too bad, and hopefully another 14,000 to go in that. Let's get back, we'll get that all finished off and hopefully be able to get this wheat sold before the end of this episode, so we know where we're sitting and how much we're going to have to make next time. So unsurprisingly, it looks like Scott is all up to date with everything. Bale is as far as he could go, the bales are all stacked, and the combine's sitting here waiting to be unloaded. So we'll get this emptied into the tractor and we'll see how much more we can get. Now, I was having a look, we've got about 5,000 or so litres of soybeans in our silo, so I might try and keep the red trailer empty, see if we can get the rest of the wheat in the other two, and if we can, we will put the soybeans and take them down, because the best sale price we can get for those, unsurprisingly, is at the boat docks. So we'll just crack through, we'll get this all finished off, and I'll catch you when we're ready to go down and get the last load sold. And there we go, that is the wheat all finished. So we're just getting the combine there emptied out. We've kept up to date with all the balings, we just have a few bales out there to stack. Now one thing I did realise, and we'll just run this down, or Scott can run this down to the yard for us. I did realise as we were doing that field, I do want to keep some of our wheat. So we almost got a full load, I think we're probably about 85% full in the tractor. But I do want to keep some of that wheat to feed our chickens. So what I think I might do, I might dump the red trailer's load into the silo and then fill it up with soybeans to take down to the sell point, because we will get a better price for soybeans. We're better off taking 5,000 or 6,000 litres of soybeans than we are taking 5,000 or 6,000 litres of wheat. So we'll leave that there. It needs a clean and probably a little bit of a service, and we'll head down and grab the tractor. So 11,600 litres total. So I'm hoping we can just drive up here beside with this side discharge, there it is, and dump this straight into the silo. Must have been pretty much bang on 4,000 litres or so. Now if we park under here, well there we go, we know 4,470, and we'll go over to our soybeans, 5,400. So we're actually going to be better off selling that than we would have been if we sold the wheat, and it will give us some food for our chickens, which was one of the main reasons we grew wheat in the first place. So we'll run this down to the boat, we'll jump in the boat and go and get it sold, see how much we've ended up making from this. Just on our way past, I thought I'd double check the bale counter as well. 74 bales total. We had 30 on the counter when we started, so there's 44 bales out here. If we can get between $150 and $200 per bale, that'll be another 6 to not quite 8 grand, which is good. So we will have that all to do as well, but let's go and get this sold first, see how much money we can get from all our grain. Just got back down here to the loading point for the boat, and we will go around, get everything emptied out, and then we'll get it loaded up and run it down to the sell point. I'm not actually sure whether we're going to be able to take the soybeans and the wheat at the same time, so we will have to suss it out. We'll get that one there emptied out, we'll run around and get the other two done. With everything unloaded from the trailers, we'll get onto the boat now and start loading this up. So we should be able to go in here. 35,649 litres of wheat. So we'll just press start and you can see that filling up there into the bunker. Now from that I'm going to take a punt that we're not going to be able to take the soybeans at the same time. We'll try, but I'm not too hopeful of it. Let's just have a look. No, can only select the wheat. So it looks like we're going to be taking 2 trips to go and get this sold. So we will steam off, head down to the unloading station 1, which is where we sold our wool at earlier. Now we should be able to pull right up here beside the dock. I believe this is the cell trigger actually out in the water, which is what we experienced with the wool, and there we go. So let's start unloading that and see how much we get. I'm hoping for 20 grand. We can clear 20 grand plus, I'll be happy. Not quite, 18,983. Still not a bad effort, and leaving us on just under 83 grand, which is 41,000 short of our target of 124,000. So we are getting there. We'll race back again, keep this on a bit of a time lapse, head back, pick up some soybeans, come back and sell those as well. And we are back with our few remaining soybeans. Now, if we can get 7 grand out of this, or just over, we'll crack the 90 grand. Oh, so close, we've got 7 grand. $105 short of 90,000. So, we're down to needing 34,000. I feel like we are getting closer and closer. We've still got the straw bales all to sell, and then we'll have to look at what we're going to do with some logging. But we'll get back to the farm and we'll catch up with Scott and say some farewells to him. So here we are back at the farm. Looks like Scott's been busy, got all the bales stacked, which is mighty kind of him. That is going to be our task next time, to get all of those loaded on the trailer and sold. See how much money we can get for the majority of those. We will keep a few for the pigs, like I said. And then we will be cutting down some trees, chopping up some firewood, and hopefully recovering the money we need by doing that. But time will tell. We're not going to find out today. It is going to have to wait for another episode. There's Scott waiting there patiently, so we'll just stop here and go and have a chat to him. Honestly, mate, thank you very much for your help. Could not have picked a better person to come and give me a hand today, so really do appreciate it, and we'll get your name added up there onto the honours board. Fingers crossed you won't be one of the last ones if we can save the farm and get enough money. But thank you very much, and thank you to all of you for watching. Hope you have enjoyed that episode. Stay tuned for next time to find out if we do manage to earn enough money. I'm feeling a little bit more optimistic now than I was earlier, having got all that wheat done. So until next time, we'll catch you in the next one.